What's up, everybody? I'm back. Just kidding.
Okay, you're giving me the ick.
We're gonna do the cost of living in Cheyenne, Wyoming compared to Denver. Now, you gotta know what it's gonna cost to live so you don't end up like this guy. Am I right? You know what I mean? Today is gonna be a little bit different of a cost of living. I'm gonna go through cost of livings here in Cheyenne, but I'm gonna compare it to Denver if you had a salary of $100,000, okay? So that's what we're going to base off of everything here. Now, all this info is coming from Rent Cafe. I got all of it from their website. Check them out. So if you think that I'm wrong, I'm going off of their numbers, and they have a full list of everything that you can check out there. If you're interested, you can type in your actual salary, but for this video's sake, we're just gonna go with the 100,000, okay? And we're gonna do it. If you were living in Denver and you wanted to move to Cheyenne, how much difference would it be versus Denver, right? In order to maintain the standard of living in Denver, in Cheyenne, you would need a salary of $85,000 a year, which is 14% lower. Okay, so not a big difference there, but it is a big difference in the long term of things. So you take that monthly and yearly, starts to add up, right? First, we're gonna go with housing, of course. I'm a realtor. We help in Colorado and Wyoming, right here in Cheyenne. Housing, we're gonna start with that. The average monthly rent in Denver is about $1,900. The average rent in Cheyenne is about $1,012-ish, around there, depending on what you're looking at. That is a 49% lower cost. 49% lower to live in Cheyenne versus renting in Denver. Bang, right there. You're already saving a lot of money, okay? You can afford to pay around $2,500 in rent in Cheyenne while budgeting 30% of your monthly income for housing. Now, if you could afford $2,500 in rent in Cheyenne, I'm gonna tell you, you should go buy a house. And here's why. You're gonna save money in the long run. You might even get into a house for cheaper than that. I don't pay that for my house, and we live in a comfortable 4-bed, 2,500 square feet, whatever it is. But if you can afford to do that, if you're on these salaries here, that's where I would go to. Now, home prices here in Cheyenne and Denver are gonna be a lot different, right? Your average home price in Colorado is gonna be $643, okay? And there's some numbers, but I'm just gonna go straight across the board. Here, our average purchase price is $419. So that's a 35% lower difference in your average home cost. So it is a lot cheaper to buy up here. You can get a lot more bang for your buck. I do help people in the outskirts of Colorado that decide to come up to Wyoming because now you're in a different state, you're in different taxes, things like that, but you can get a lot more home up here in Cheyenne. Mortgage rates are all over the place today. This one is from a little bit ago, so I won't read that one out because I know that's not correct. But on average, interest rates are a little bit higher here in Cheyenne, but lender basis. Talk to a lender. I'm not a lender. Talk to a lender. Alrighty. So those are your housing costs, right? Now, what are your utility costs? Because that factors in too, especially when you're renting. Sometimes when you rent up here, a lot of things are included in your rent and you just have to pay electricity or water or one of the two or whatever. So you don't really know about that till you get up here. But average utilities in Colorado for energy, an average utility bill is $140. An average utility bill here in Cheyenne is $130. So it's an 8% difference lower in the energy utility costs here in Cheyenne. Now that's monthly, okay, it's gonna all be dependent on what you do, but those are just gonna be your averages, okay? Now a phone, everybody's got a phone, right? Average is $190 in Denver, and in Cheyenne it's $180. So that's a 6% difference for lower. Now, all these different companies, they have all different kinds of things, but it's definitely like wherever you live, it's like car insurance. It's different wherever you live for some reason. I think it should be the same for everybody. But base cost, if you have 15 vehicles, you shouldn't pay like what somebody pays for one, right? But okay, now, the biggest thing about living is eating, right? So what are your food costs when you're here in Colorado? Versus Wyoming. Now this one might surprise you. they're actually higher. Food costs are higher here in Cheyenne, and I have a theory why. We don't pay taxes on the groceries. That kind of factors in. I think that's why. And also, we're in a smaller town, you gotta look at that. Steak, $13.21 in Denver, $13.98 in Cheyenne, 6% up. Ground beef, $4.68 in Denver, $5.33 here in Cheyenne, 14% up, okay? Now these are all going up just based on the current climate of what we're doing right now as this video is taking place right here in 2024. Milk, $2.73 in Denver, $3.02 here in Cheyenne, 11% higher, all right? Now we finally get one that's lower. Eggs, $2.74 in Denver, $2.66 here in Cheyenne, for a 3% lower cost here in Cheyenne. Cheese, I'll just go over, there's a lot on here, but cheese, $4.53 in Denver, $4.69. Nice. Up here in Cheyenne, 4% higher. Potatoes, we'll go potatoes, $2.91 here in Denver, and then here in Cheyenne, $3.42, which makes that an 18% increase from Denver to Cheyenne. And bananas, we'll do bananas, 59 cents in Denver, 73 cents in Cheyenne, making that a 24% increase in bananas up here. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if you eat them a long time, it could end up over time. I'm just scrolling down the list, and the biggest jump that I see here on these two is sugar, which is $2.91 in Denver and $3.72 here in Cheyenne, making that a 28% increase in food costs here in Cheyenne. I'm giving it to you straight. Food, more expensive in Cheyenne. Housing, less expensive in Cheyenne. Bang, there's your two. All right, now let's move on to a couple other things you need to do when you're living in a town. So those are your food costs. And now, what else do you need to live? You need some healthcare, right? A typical healthcare is about 1% lower up here in Cheyenne. So it's not really that much of a difference, but just remember, healthcare, it's all different, right? So a typical, we'll just go with a typical dentist visit. It's gonna run you about $120 in Denver. It's gonna run you $106 here in Cheyenne. Now that's 11% difference lower up here in Cheyenne. Doctor's visit, we're a little bit more higher here in Cheyenne for the doctor. Doctor's about $108 a visit there in Denver, and $125 up here in Cheyenne for a 16% increase over that. And let's go, ibuprofen is $10.20 in Denver and $10.33 up here, which is a 1% higher cost up here. Now, healthcare is a little bit different because healthcare comes in all kinds of different shapes and sizes, right? If you never go to the doctor, you never have to pay for that, right? If you have very good insurance, or you have 2 or 3 different insurances, you're probably never paying for stuff either. If you have an okay insurance, you're probably paying a lot more out of pocket, right? If you have no insurance, then you're paying a really lot more out of pocket. So that's just how it goes, right? I'm not one to go to the doctor a whole lot, but if you don't have health insurance, you should probably, like my mom would tell you, go out there and get it, okay? Next thing, transportation. And I've noticed this here a little bit. I've noticed that gas here in Cheyenne is a little bit higher than it is in Denver, and I think it's because there's travel costs to get it here and things like that. I think we're a smaller town, so I haven't really figured that out. But the gasoline, at $3.68 average in Denver, $3.71 average up here in Cheyenne, for a 1% increase in gas to get around. Here's one, they have this as tire balance. I'm guessing like getting your tires done or service on your car. Average $62 in Denver, $52 up here in Cheyenne, for a 15% decrease in car maintenance. So I just put car maintenance there, doing your brakes or your rotors, all that kind of stuff. It's a cost of living, man. If you need your car, it's definitely in there. So make sure you factor all that in. All right, good and services. Now these are gonna be a little bit different because some people might never use one of these. Some people will use some of these. Haircuts, averages in Denver, to get a haircut, average is about $25. And up here in Cheyenne, it's about $28. So that's about a 10% increase in cost to get a haircut right here in Cheyenne. Now, beauty salon, I go to the beauty salon a lot, so this is a lot one for me. Beauty salon in Denver, 47 bucks average. Up here in Cheyenne, $31 is the average. That's a decrease in 34%. So overall total, I forgot to say, is 7% lower for goods and services up here in Cheyenne. And so that's a big one there. Dry cleaning, I don't really dress up. I know that I've been hounded for it on here, trying not to, I gotta be more professional. I think your realtor should be like, you know, themselves, right? And you wanna connect with them a little bit better. Some people don't want me to show up in a suit and tie when we're going and seeing some of the properties that we go see, right? That's not very practical, right? Dry cleaning in Denver, $17 is the average. Up here in Cheyenne, average $13. Savings of 21% on your dry cleaning there. A men's shirt, typical is $34 in Denver, $53 up here. I don't know what men's shirt they have, probably a dress shirt, but that's a 55% increase in a good here in Cheyenne. So that's one of the bigger ones that's an increase up here, clothings. We'll go down here, newspaper, if anybody reads newspapers anymore, average down there $13, average up here $14, probably because nobody reads it. That's a 7% increase. Here's one that everybody does, movie tickets. Well, maybe not everybody, because you guys go on Netflix now, right? Don't you? Movie tickets, average $14 in Denver, average $10 here in Cheyenne. That's a 29% decrease. Shout out to our movie theater, which I love. They allow you to drink alcohol there. Get in there, have yourself a nice little Coors Light, Coors Banquet, I don't know, whatever you drink. I don't sponsor anything, but if High Noons wants to send me more of their stuff or those Arizona teas, I will take some all the time. 21 and up, drink responsible, bang. I'll actually take anything for free. If you want to put it in here, I'll slap a logo right here for you. Message me, I'll help you out. Yoga classes, average $21 in Denver. Up here in Cheyenne, woosah. $14 is your average there. That's a 33% savings right there for yoga classes. All right, so those obviously are just an overview of a good mix and variety of things that you're gonna need when you're living up here in Cheyenne. So overall, you're gonna save money when you live in Cheyenne versus other places. Now, when you're looking in Wyoming, Cheyenne is one of the more expensive cities to live in Wyoming, obviously. Some of these cities around here, or some of the little towns, are very cheap to live in, but Cheyenne is on the higher side of those. Income levels here, just quick. It's about 10% lower incomes up here in Cheyenne, obviously. A lot of how the world works today. Tongue twister there. A lot of people in Denver, they've raised their salaries, right, to combat their housing crisis that they have down there, right? The median household income in Denver is about $78,000. The median income in Cheyenne is about $70,000. So that's a 10% increase in salaries there in Denver that you don't get here in Cheyenne, but you save money everywhere else. And as always, guys, if you have any suggestions for videos, we're getting into the springtime. It's almost there where I could get out of my corner and I could go out and do actual videos out and about in town. I can't wait. So if you have a video that you guys would like to see, drop it down below. And if you own a business in Cheyenne and you're still here watching this video, if you own a business in Cheyenne, please reach out. I have an opportunity to be able to offer your employees a discount when they're buying or selling. I would love to chat with you about that opportunity. It costs nothing to you as a business owner. So reach out. As always, guys, like this video, subscribe. We are so close to 500 subscribers. Comment down below something that you like about Cheyenne, Wyoming. And as always, guys, be safe out there and be kind to one another. Have a great day. So if you guys like this video, I very much appreciate if you check out this video, which is a video about the pros and cons of living right here